My biography is on the very famous photographer David Doubilet. David Doubilet was born November 28, 1946 in New York City. He is a very famous marine photographer who's been taking pictures since the late 1950s. He has spent 5 decades taking pictures of the entire planet. He has a vision to create a voice for all of the world's oceans through his images. His drive to keep taking pictures is environmentalism, saying that it's the desire to make an image that makes people think about, fall in love with, and protect the sea. When Doubilet was 8 years old, he attended the summer camp called Camp Lincoln, although he was not a very sociable child. He wasn't really interested in all the activities at camp, such as archery, mountain climbing, and horseback riding. His camp counselors, being fed up of Doubilet refusing to engage in any camp activity, told him to go swim, as he clearly didn't enjoy anything else that was going on at camp. When he went under the water, he was utterly mesmerized by the sights he saw, saying, "I like the sunfish, I like the light. I was hooked on simply seeing light underwater." When he got back to his home in New Jersey after camp ended, his parents bought him a mask, snorkel, and Frank the Frogman fins so he could further explore his fascination with the world underneath the water. Doubilet experimented with underwater photography by putting a Brownie Hawkeye camera in a rubber anesthesiology bag to protect the camera from the water, so he could take pictures while in the water. Doubilet's dad thought that his son wanted to make movies, so he bought him a movie camera, while later learning that Doubilet was more of an in-the-moment type of person. Doubilet shortly after picked up a C3 camera with a Seahawk housing since they were inexpensive at the time, but since the exposure wasn't good, he decided to shoot in black and white. Doubilet's dad introduced him to a medical photographer who ended up becoming Doubilet's mentor, who devoted his time into helping Doubilet increase his photography skills. Doubilet traveled to Andros, Bahamas when he was 13, and while working as a tank filler for the new Small Hope Bay Lodge that had opened, he honed his underwater photography skills. Doubilet, who had been certified the past year by the New York Skin Diving Academy, worked his way up the ranks in Small Hope and became a diving instructor. He continued to come vacation at the lodge until he was 22 years old. When the time came to go to college, Doubilet decided that he'd go into marine biology. He still recognized his ardor of photography, as he had sold an image at 15 to a Brazilian magazine, and he had previously won $1,000 from a prestigious photography competition. Doubilet graduated from Boston University in 1970, majoring in still photography with a Bachelor of Science degree. In 1971, Doubilet shot his first study on garden eels, which was for the National Geographic. Doubilet has been a contract photographer for the National Geographic since 1976, having shot many articles for them since then. He lives with his wife Jennifer Hayes, who is also a marine photographer and a marine biologist, making them quite a dynamic duo. They live together in Clayton, New York, and they co-own a studio and stock photography company. Doubilet has photographed the deep waters of places such as the Southwest Pacific, New Zealand, Canada, Japan, Tasmania, Scotland, and the Northwest Atlantic. His profession has also taken him to freshwater ecosystems such as Botswana's Okavango Delta and the St. Lawrence River in Canada. He has photographed stingrays in the Caribbean, he has photographed sponges in the Caribbean, and he has also photographed sharks in the Caribbean. He has photographed shipwrecks in the South Pacific, the Atlantic, and Pearl Harbor. He has written many books, including Light in the Sea, Water, Light and Time, Fish Face, and The Kingdom of the Coral, Australia's Great Barrier Reef. Doubilet has received many awards and prizes, such as the Cyril Prize, the Lowell Thomas Award, and the Lennart Nilsson Award in Photography. He is a member of the Royal Photographic Society and the International Scuba Diving Hall of Fame. Doubilet's goal as a photographer is to redefine photographic boundaries, also saying that where technology meets dreams, we make photographs. David Doubilet is and always will be remembered as one of the greatest marine photographers of all time, and will forever be an inspiration to all marine photographers and people who appreciate marine photography. Here is a slideshow of more of the pictures that David Doubilet took throughout his life. Thank you all for watching my biography on the great marine photographer David Doubilet.